feels great, yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Class vs. Grass Gaming Podcast. Happy quarantine, everybody. I'm your host, Hey Jay. Joining me, as always, I've got Bearded Greg. I can't do the fine ass joke because I don't got the crass tonight.
Bearded Greg in my infinitely dirty and messy office. It will never get cleaned.
Yeah, it looks fine. Mine's messy.
My quarantine office.
So usually we would have RGT with us. Literally 5 minutes before the podcast, his grandma called, and he has to go eat his sandwich with carrots and apple juice. So he won't be joining us tonight. Actually, his grandmother's basement has flooded, and he has to go and help her out. So he might jump in, but I really expect him to be busy cleaning that out for the rest of the night. So it's just going to be Greg and I for tonight. We're going to be going over the Nintendo Direct from last week with a love it, like it, hate it, or meh, where we go over every topic in the Nintendo Direct and we give it a love it, like it, hate it, or meh grade. If you want Sean's opinion, I think he pretty much made his own video about it, so you can always go check that out on his channel. Look at that, I'm doing promo for this guy's channel. Before we get into that, though, it is a 1 hour podcast where we start off with what we've been playing, talk about headlines as well as our feature, and then we leave the last 15 minutes for the lightning round, where you can toss up your questions, your topics, anything you want to talk about.
Breast milk.
We covered that once, remember?
Oh yeah, about
Sean's little milk song. Yeah, I think this podcast is now 3 or 4 years strong. Week, I don't know. And man, we've covered some crazy topics over the years. But good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all. Good to see you, Ethan. Like your little Sean Carr mug.
What's everybody in the chat? Like, what's everybody been doing if they have been told to stay at home? What have you been doing to like pass the time? What have you been playing?
What have you been playing?
But I know a lot of people that have been buying and collecting more. One of my buddies is catching up on his amiibo collection and has been buying more and getting some of the low-hanging fruit on Marketplace and some of the auction sites and whatnot. And so and for me, like, the whole retro hunting is completely calmed down. I mean, I can't really do any of it. Before I would be able to go to at least the thrift shops and kind of check out what they have, but now it's like, there's only a handful of locations for like local places that are still open that do that.
Yeah, can you even buy or trade? Like I placed a bunch of orders for things a couple weeks ago, and it seems like the whole shipping, like delivery, I haven't been receiving any packages, and like my tracking numbers are frozen. So to me, it seems like just nothing is moving. Everything's at a standstill. So how is it different in the US? Like how are people able to even collect at this point?
I don't know. It's about the same. Even with so I just broke my display port by moving my desk and bent some of the pins on it, and I was like, shoot, I gotta go get another display port cord because I have a FreeSync monitor. And so you can only use it if you have it. So I was like going to look for one, and everywhere sold out. Best Buy doesn't have them, and Best Buy was closed at the time, and they had closed early. So I went to Walmart, went to Target, and I was like, I'll look on Amazon. And even on Amazon, nobody had Prime shipping, and if there was one available, it was like one of the receive dates was like April 21st or something like that. I was like, I'm not gonna order a display cord and wait till April 21st. I was like, this is trash. So like finally going through the list, I found another one that somebody else had that I could buy on with Prime shipping. But like, it's just crazy. Like even at Walmart, the whole area where computer monitors would be stocked, like in their electronics department, was completely wiped out.
Really?
People now need workstations to work from home, and to have your workstation, you need a monitor.
Right. Oh, that's crazy. So, I didn't hear about that around here, but I'm sure it's similar. But I thought, a lot of workplaces that enforced it would have had to provide those monitors. But yeah, I guess there would be a monitor shortage all around.
Yeah. And most times, they're like, oh yeah, company's paying for it, so get whatever.
Yeah. I've been there. But otherwise, I see there's a lot of people replying with what they've been playing, and we're actually going to get to the audiences what you've been playing. I think we should add that as a segment. We always share what we've been playing, but we should also check out what the chat is playing every week. But let's get started with what have you been playing, Mr. Greg?
What have I been playing?
Playing?
I have been playing, I think I can say it, the embargo lifts tomorrow, but I've been playing the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Ooh.
And I can't really say anything else other than that, but there's, this, and you have to think about it too. There's, more people online that wouldn't normally be there, and that's a bunch of eyeballs. And so especially in a time right now where people are attentive to what people are playing online and that sort of stuff, there's a ton of restrictions in terms of what you could and couldn't say in regards to Resident Evil 3. But just know to if you're looking for reviews and stuff, they should be hitting tomorrow.
Very cool. Are you a Resident Evil fan? I'm pretty sure I've asked you before, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't played every single one. Like I think Outbreak and like a couple of random ones, but for the most part, I really liked Revelations on the 3DS. It was like one of my favorite games. Code Veronica, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 0 as well as one of my other favorites.
And where you're saying you're working on the review, right?
Yeah, so PC Invasion is where it's going to be launching when it does.
What time?
I believe. I'm not sure actually. I have, it's morning. It should be morning. Oh. I know the time, but I don't want to say it if it's not accurate. So.
Right, gotcha. Anything else you've been playing?
You know what? I just love having cross-platform play. I play like me, and this is a prime example. So last night, I'm on the Xbox, my buddy's on PS4, his buddy's on PS4, his buddy jumps off, so it's just me and him, talking, hanging out, and I laughed as hard as I could have laughed, like without bursting a blood vessel, and like just us catching up and just having a good time and just playing video games. And that's what I like most, especially not just multiplayer games, but the ability to play cross-platform where I didn't have to, I absolutely despise the PlayStation controller. So I didn't want to have to play a shooter on the PlayStation using the controller. So luckily, with cross-platform play for, Rocket League, Modern Warfare, pretty much anything I play now has it. So except Apex.
You just made me realize I haven't been playing any multiplayer games aside like Overcooked, but like nothing online in a long time. I've just been in this shell of a lone world playing my single player games. But yeah, I think where was it that I was playing crossplay? I forget which game it was, but I remember appreciating that, and I hope we see more of that as we move forward. Not just crossplay though. What I really like is is it cloud save, where you can have a game on multiple devices, and so like you could play on your PC, for example, and then you can like jump to your Switch, buy it there, and play it and pick up from where you left off.
Yeah, that's cloud save, or like like your game sync. If they have some sort of like online game sync, they'll say that too.
That feature is further behind than crossplay, but like I love that feature, and I hope we're going to see more of that. Because now I'm finding myself buying games multiple times on multiple platforms just because of different places I like to play. For example, I'm finding myself getting like a huge itch to just like collect trophies on PlayStation, and I'm revisiting a lot of games that I loved. I was like, oh man, I'd love to like pick this up again on the PlayStation just to replay it, but this time go through the trophies. Which, for example, Hollow Knight is one I did. Another one is Shovel Knight, which I own on the Wii U. I bought it again on the Switch, and I'm like, shit, I gotta buy it. I want to buy it again on the PlayStation to get the trophies, but I don't want to like pay $60 for it. So I'm just waiting for it to be on sale.
Yeah, I started playing Shovel Knight a little bit ago too, because I remember I said I'd never really played it, and then made some progress on it. I'll probably jump back in. I was just kind of skipping around with games I was playing.
Yeah, to me, Shovel Knight is a game you pick up and play for like 30 minutes, max 60 minutes at a time. I can't Like I can't spend a whole afternoon or a whole evening in Shovel Knight.
I'm like 2 deaths in, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put this down until I pick it up in like
Yeah.
maybe a couple days.
Yeah. It's one of those things that has to be enjoyed in short bursts, I find. Even playing the most recent one, King's Knight, same thing. I was loving it, and after 30 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm done. I got enough of this. But I've been playing, I finished Dragon Quest Builders 2 last week. Credits rolled on that. Don't play for the story. It gets a little bit like there's a formula that they pretty much repeat a set amount of times. It's pretty fun. I think I prefer it over Minecraft because of the quest-based stuff, and I like it specifically on PlayStation because of the trophies, and like you're more incentivized, I find, to like complete the list, the recipe list, the item list, the monster list. So there's all these like lists to check off, which I'm really enjoying. But now that that's done, every time I like finish a game, even though I want to get the platinum, I feel I have to do something else. So as you can probably see from what's back here, I've been playing. I got back into Persona 5 because I just like, all this news and negativity. I have to be honest, it really affects my anxiety. I'm a pretty anxious person, and I didn't think that what's going on in the world would affect me because it's I'm self-employed in all this, and it has affected me in some ways, but just the constant barrage of negative news is what's affecting me more than I thought it would. And I find myself like, even my choice of games, I'm seeking things that are more relaxed, like Dragon Quest Builders 2. You're building, you're taking the time to gather. Persona 5, I'm living a regular. I'm living some teenage life, just like romancing people left and right. Like I'm just playing these very peaceful, and I think a lot of people are doing that right now with Animal Crossing, or Doom.
But I think that's interesting, the way that you say that, though, because like when you play a game, it's like also like watching a movie. Like I'm in the mood for action adventure, something I can shut my brain off and just popcorn flick. But the same way that you play games, like whether it's like a power fantasy that you're able to wield the suit and fly around, or that you're looking for something that appeases that part of your brain to kind of check out from the negativity for some maybe positive endorphins or whatever. But I do think that's interesting because that anxiousness is driven by the constant, there's new announcements coming every day. Like we just had one here that it was like 30 minutes ago was the one where Trump came on the news and said they're going to extend it until the 30th. So it's like, you're constantly waiting for some sort of update. And I'm the same way. I've struggled with anxiety and have had it since, I can remember, back to being 16 years old and still feeling the same way. Mm-hmm. But I think it's that, you want to check out and do something else that's fun or different, or maybe be part of that other fantasy other than like this constant update of, all the banks are shutting down, or, restaurants are closing.
Like, there's all these deaths. Oh, this kid died. And oh my God, look at this story. They suffered and they died alone. And you're just like, okay, like once a day, maybe I can do it. But like this constant thing, and it's like, it's around the corner. It's going to get you. You better not touch that handle. Don't touch that orange.
All death. Just dedicate 1 hour to the news, and they could list off everything that caused.
Not even. Death. I do 10 minutes, and some days, like this weekend, I really doubled down on Persona 5, and like it has a really relaxing background music and everything. And I've already played it and beat it, so I'm going through to do trophy collecting. So I'm like skipping a lot of this stuff and just kind of focusing on the things I need and want to do. But like losing myself in that, like I would say stop, and it's 6-7 p.m. in the evening, and I'm just like, oh, I feel so good today. Why do I feel so? Oh, I didn't look at the news. I haven't been like connected to social media. And then I like pull out my phone and start reading. I'm like, oh no, the world is still dark. Go back into happy games. But I think that's. I was like, sorry.
Do you find yourself like staying up later and playing rather than being responsible about it, or is it like just kind of going with the flow now?
Not really. I find there's not enough to do, and as much as I enjoy gaming, I can't do it 12 to 14 hours a day every day. Like my house is very clean, except for what you guys see in the back. Like I washed my windows. I like looking at my window. I'm like, oh, that looks a little dirty. I don't remember the last time I washed my windows. Wash my windows. Like I'm just looking around the house. I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, oh, these fire detectors needs to be replaced. My smoke alarm has been replaced. Like I'm just doing random chores to keep busy. I started getting back into Netflix. There's a friend of mine who recommended a show called Midnight Diner, which is apparently like very like peaceful, relaxing, and I love it. It's a series of short stories, so every episode is different, and it's about this little diner in Tokyo where the focus of each episode is on the patrons that come in. So like, you know, you have the constant setting, which is the restaurant and the owner. And then you've got the restaurant people who come in, and there's a story. Like one time it was an old actor who was jealous of the younger actor, and like you just learn their whole story. And then another time it's just a girl who's like really into knitting and knits sweaters for men she likes before telling them she likes, and instead of just telling them, she gives them a sweater, and they're like creeped out. And it's just like these fun little lighthearted stories with like nice little peaceful music, because it's a diner that only runs from midnight to 7 a.m. So it's always like the setting's always kind of at night and quiet. It's fun. I like it.
If you want something the complete opposite of that,
I don't.
There's one called I think it's called like Tokyo Stories on Amazon Prime, and it's like these weird like you know, like the like goosebumps or like scary stories to tell in the dark. But it's like there's 4 of them, and it's all in Tokyo.
So it's like Black Mirror, just like dark tone.
Kind of, yeah. And like one of them, this girl is tired of being, you know, walked on and being, you know, treated like she's, you know, not important or not useful, and then she starts turning into a chair.
What?
And like, yeah, it's like, yeah. And I'm telling you, you have to watch it. I'd say two of the 4 are good. maybe 3.
I might take a look at it. But back to games, I was even considering, like, with all this time, like, oh, maybe I should get back into Sekiro. And I'm like, no, I can't. I just can't deal with that level of stress right now. That game is freaking tough. But let's see what chat has been playing. I don't know if you caught on to some stuff, Greg.
A lot of Persona.
What? Really? People are playing Persona?
Well, why?
We got some Zone of Enders, which I'm not.
Yeah, I saw that.
With. But yeah, just call out any game you see that people are playing that has the chat been playing. We probably should have read when we actually asked them. We got Kat who finished Yakuza 0. Oh, Eric's the one who was playing Zone of Enders. Animal Crossing. Have you been playing Animal Crossing? No, I don't.
Girlfriend has, not me. and my sister randomly.
What?
She just called me one day and she was like, I got a Nintendo Switch and I got Animal Crossing. I'm playing. And I was like, what?
I'm not sure. I missed what Ryan was playing. But yeah, we're going to refine this what has the chat been playing segment. This is our first time doing it and we're not too good at it. But I think if you want it, Greg, this could be your segment. Just like how Sean kind of owns the lightning round. You can own this.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So going forward, we will do that. So you're going to have to be on the ball for that. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. You ready to go for some love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
Yeah.
All right. Hold up. Albert says, gee, I tried Persona 2 on PSX and Persona 3 on PS2 and I couldn't get into it. Interesting, Albert, because Persona 2 was the first Persona game I played and I absolutely hated it. And that was back when I was playing RPGs day and night. And I remember everyone's like, oh, you got to get into the Persona series. I was like 16, 17. I picked up Persona 2. It was terrible. I didn't like it. And then with all of the buzz around Persona 5, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this game a chance. And I got into it. And after I'd say the first hour or two is when I like, it's a game that just kind of like seduces you slowly. It doesn't just like pull you in right away. It's like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. And then like they let you make your own coffee and I'm done.
Orgasm.
Yeah. So I would say and Persona 5, you can pick it up for cheap. It's like $20 right now. I would say give that a try. It's a pretty low risk. All right, let's prepare for the mess. That's Gadget Mike. You're right. All right, let's go with Nintendo Direct Mini, which actually had 30 announcements, so not so mini.
Ooh. Are we gonna? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have the list, but you're not going to see the list.
Yeah.
You're going to have to listen. I like that they called it a mini because it was a lengthy Nintendo Direct, and the fact that they're acknowledging it's a mini tells me that they were conscious of its content not being quite up to par to a Nintendo Direct. Because I think the general consensus is there was a little bit of something that got everyone like, oh, that's nice, but nothing that people were like, oh, that's awesome, that's amazing.
I don't think they were ready. I think they had to make adjustments. They had to make some major adjustments for this to happen. I think it was spliced together between 2 other videos plus some of the content they were going to release.
So we're gonna get into that. So if you've never joined us on a Love It Like You Hate It or Meh segment, I just remembered I had Siggy Sour. I haven't seen him in here, but he did a little song clip for when we did this segments, and I forgot to set it up tonight. But it's basically him singing "Love It Like You Hate It or Meh." So it's pretty jazzy. So yeah, what we usually do is we go through every item we say, and then we're going to talk about the Direct as a whole and how it compares to the other ones.
Yep.
So first one, the big one was Xenoblade. The definitive edition finally gets a release date, May 29th. We also learned that there is going to be an additional piece of content called Xenoblade Chronicles plus Future Connected, or Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected.
That was the epilogue.
Yeah, so
release, right?
It's an additional epilogue. And there's also a very good-looking collector's edition coming out. Love it, like it, hate it or meh.
I like it.
I love it. So have you played Xenoblade?
Mm-mm.
Never touched this one, eh?
Yeah, but what's funny is because I was going to jump in when it released on the Wii U, and I did not. And I remember you did. Pretty hardcore, right?
I think Sean fell into it harder. I didn't really like the Wii U one that much.
Okay.
Because there was like crazy load times and everything was just so bland.
Yeah, and I think that was just like a weird time for game releases. But I mean, I'd be willing to pick it up now, especially even if it is an RPG.
Do you not play RPGs?
Not really, no. It takes a lot.
I don't know if you'd like this one. It is more... So what I didn't like about the Chronicles X on Wii U is the fact that you're kind of this bland avatar and the story is more about the world and the characters around you more so than yourself. Whereas this one, Xenoblade Chronicles, the story is about the protagonists and, you know, it's their journey and their story.
Because this was originally released on the Wii U, right?
Yeah. And it also came out on the new 3DS. That's where I picked it up. I don't like playing handheld games. That's just my truth. And so I didn't get very far. So
you don't like your Switch?
I like my Switch docked, but I very rarely play it handheld.
Why?
I don't like small screens. Call me shallow.
Wow, Jason.
I just don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's the controls. I think it's really the controls. There's a DS doesn't feel as good as a controller. A Switch handheld doesn't feel as good as a Pro controller. I think it really comes down to the controller. If I have to pinpoint it.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I mean, I'm completely the same way. I mean, I'll not play on a platform because I just
like you don't touch PlayStation just because of its controller. I wonder though, like, could they, if they came out with a revision for the Switch where you can play with the Pro controller and just put the screen, like having more controller options for on the go. And I know that there are like third-party accessories that let you do that, but I've never really looked into it very much. But yeah, I hate the Joy-Cons. Like that's really what I hate. The Joy-Cons.
I'll put up with them in certain cases, but most of the time, even if I'm like my Switch is somewhere where it's, you know, with the Joy-Cons attached and it just has a little kickstand on, I'll use my Pro controller. I have it now next to my computer, which is kind of a cool thing.
So my kickstand, actually, I used to play, I think, in handheld mode more when my kickstand was actually functional. But I like breathe on the kickstand and it just flies off. And it's like it wobbles in the wind. Like,
why? Mine's like
that is good. That is good. That looks so stiff. Look at this.
That's what she said. Did you break it at some point?
Sorry?
Did you break it at some point? Like
I don't know. I mean, my kid plays with it, so who knows? But like, look at this.
Oh my god!
Look, I'm not even doing anything. It's just floppy. And look,
I bet you it's like a spring that
and
fell off the
I'll
top
barely
hinge,
like
that.
barely move it, and
Oh my!
that's not good. That's
Actually, the
but
one
it
thing
clicks
I
in place
dislike,
when you put it back in.
the one thing I dislike about my Switch now is the speakers aren't as loud as they were when I first got it. I mean, they're open and you can see that, but I know they're just really quiet. But back to what we were love it like a hater, man.
It's not the Joy-Cons, Ryan. It's the stand.
Jay is floppy.
My Switch is floppy. All right, next announcement was 2K coming in strong on the Switch with a bunch of collections, starting with BioShock Collection. Love it like a hater, man.
Love it.
Like it.
I'll probably buy it.
Yeah? Have you?
Yeah.
What's your experience with BioShock?
I know because I've written about it, on for news sites for years, but I appreciate what 2K did in initially launching this like sci-fi like steampunk genre and the exploration and those types of things, but I never really jumped into the series to wholeheartedly just play it. I remember I rented it back in the day and got like halfway through, just didn't really I don't think I really understood or appreciated the lore, the story, and things like that. And I think now is a perfect time, especially if the collection's in one place.
Mm-hmm.
And I already play on my Switch quite often. It's easy decision for me.
I already have it on the PlayStation 4. I picked it up. Didn't get very far into it. I think I made it to like the part where you get like two Mr. Bubbles attacking you. And it was just a difficulty curve for me where I was like, what the hell? And I never revisited it. I was just like, I rage quit, and I never went back to it. But I'm interested in getting back into it. I like the fact that it's on the Switch, but I would never buy it there just because I already have it.
I do like seeing when they do these collections, though, like especially before E3, it's always an indicator that the next game in the series is going to be announced and that it will also be later ported to the Switch, especially if they're putting a collection like that on there.
Interesting. I have to say, I do love seeing all of the third-party collections coming to the Switch. Like all of these old classic games that you've never really seen on Nintendo platforms coming. That I love. Let's do the next one that they announced was Borderlands Legendary Collection, also coming out May 29th. Love it like a hater, man.
I like it.
Same.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Borderlands. I like Borderlands.
I like it, but I have it on the PS4, so I'm not picking it up again.
Yeah, I had it on the 360.
Wow. Next up, we have XCOM 2 Collection, also coming out May 29th. Very busy day on May 29th. Love it like a hater, man.
Love it. I'm a fan of XCOM.
I'll also have it for free on the PlayStation 4. XCOM is a hard ass game.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like if you like tactical games, it's really good. Have you played it?
XCOM 2, yeah.
May 29th.
I even played the like XCOM like Mission Declassified, which was like the third person shooter weird action adventure game. Yeah. I
came into XCOM 2 after like getting hooked into the genre by Mario and Rabbids. And like if you do that, just be warned, you're gonna get smacked around so hard. Yeah. Like Mario and Rabbids, it's this happy, like colorful, beautiful world where they're like, here, we'll teach you how to play. XCOM 2 is like, you stepped in the wrong place. This person's dead forever. It's just like,
Killed by aliens, man.
Yeah, it's intense. They don't mess around. All right. So far, most of the chat loving or liking. Oh, we got Ryan with a meh on the last one. You guys weren't as excited about XCOM 2. All right. Next up, we have Marvel Ultimate 3. Looks like it was a new DLC, if I understood correctly, for Fantastic Four. Love it like a hater, man.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Meh. I don't care about this game.
Game was it was a good game. It wasn't great, but I had already started jumping back into it, and I had purchased the season pass for the DLC and got all the DLC, and then this came out, and so I was like, okay, cool, that's just more stuff to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the kind of stuff I like to just pick up, and maybe I'll do like 3 challenges and then set it down and come back to it maybe a couple days later.
I would probably have that same mindset. To me, the biggest reason I haven't gone into it is the price. it's too big of a price point for me to jump into it. Like, I'm not that big of a Marvel fan. The gameplay looks fun, but not, after tax and everything, $80 experience. New things.
Yeah.
Gadget hates it. Wow. They're really milking that exclusive for everything they can.
Let it die.
Let the past die. Next up, we've got Shinsekai Into the Depths. Love it like a hater, man.
Is that the underwater diver?
Yep. I think it was published by Capcom.
That looked really interesting.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle, like a 2D.
Plus, you could like hurt the enemies and stuff too. So it looks like there's some like combat elements.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
it's a like.
I dislike water levels on games. I just think they're too slow, and I just hate like that.
You're not.
I don't know. I feel it makes once again another thing that makes me feel anxious.
Water levels.
Water levels.
Even in RPGs, though, I feel the same as you. I'm like, oh, we're going in the water, and like water usually doesn't affect RPGs. You just know that you're going to be fighting fish and jellyfish for the next 30 minutes. I hate that. And then there's going to be an octopus at the end. Always an octopus. With 7 other things you have to attack. So you need your AoE spells.
But yeah, that was I don't know. Just depends.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. The price will be a big factor. Reviews and price will be a big factor for me in that one. Oh, good point, RPG. There is a category missing. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh, or interesting.
Ooh.
That's starting to be too many words, though. If you can abbreviate that into a catchy phrase, I don't know. LLHMI? I don't know. Next up, we have Animal Crossing updates. The fact that there's going to be an Easter event, but they don't call it Easter. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh. Do you want to have eggs?
That was meh for me.
Huge.
You can fish them out of fish for eggs, dig eggs up. It's a limited timed event.
Yeah, it's so meh. I've been watching the world going crazy for Animal Crossing, and it got to the point where I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm missing out, FOMO. But I resisted the urge for 2 days. That urge is gone. I'm just like, no, I'm not playing this.
See, I always question myself and like, am I missing something that everybody else is getting? Is like, my sister's playing it now, and I'm like, maybe she thinks it's cool. Maybe I can like play it and then talk to her about it.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, I have all these people in my friend group, and they're all playing, having fun, and sharing stories. I'm like, do I want to be a part of this?
Ryan keeps saying, "Love it, like it, hate it, or fart." I don't care how old I get. Fart jokes are gonna.
What's that?
I said, I don't care how old I get. Fart jokes are always gonna make me laugh.
How did you feel when you first saw Dumb and Dumber when he's on the toilet just taking a shit?
Oh, I was laughing uncontrollably, much like his anus.
You paint a picture with your words, sir. Quite the poet.
I didn't even know it.
Next up, good job. Love it, like it, hate it, or meh.
I love it. That game looks hella fun.
What? No. You would spend money to do that?
I would.
What's the point? They're like, oh, it's creative. Do whatever you want. But like, clearly you rack up a bill if you do it bad.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like one of the games that like, I can take home, and if my family was around, or if my parents randomly came to visit, although they haven't, even though I've lived here for almost 2 years and am sad about it. But even if they did one day decided to make the trek here and visit and stuff, it's like one of those games that, I have this on my Switch or something to do.
Ryan says don't sleep on this. It was a total meh for him, which it is for me, by the way. He says he bought it co-op. The co-op is great, apparently.
How much is it?
That's a good question. The price is pretty important on this one. What's it called?
Is it called Good Job?
Good job. Good job, Switch. Is this an exclusive? If the co-op is good, I mean, that actually pulls me in. Oh, $25 Canadian, so it's probably like 20 US. Okay. A bumbling employee meets office-themed puzzles. Hilarity ensues. I feel whenever anybody says hilarity ensues, there is no hilarity. that ensues.
It's like saying, like, hey, a joke's coming.
Yeah.
Get ready to laugh.
To me, there's a certain demographic that uses the word hilarity ensues, and they are above a certain age and of a certain ethnicity.
Which age and ethnicity is that, Jason?
Let's just say I'm not too far off from it. Next up, Catherine, Full Body, coming out July 7th. Love it, like it, hate her, man.
That's a big meh for me.
Yeah. This is one of the only games I actually returned on Steam. Everybody was telling me how crazy like this game is and how great it is. I was like, all right, I'll pick it up. Did not like it at all. What's this? You buying
20
it?
bones.
20 bones?
I think oh shit balls.
Cat loves it? Oh, man. Nah. Actually, yeah. It's a meh. Like, I'm not going to hate on it because I know it's a popular game, but I'm never picking this up again.
Do it, Jason.
And it was a meh for you? You're not into Catherine?
It was not.
Have you tried it?
No, not for me.
You don't like climbing boxes?
No. Nothing about it looks appealing. I'm sorry.
Not even Catherine? You're not into
Nope.
Catherine? Wow. Ring Fit Adventure update, including rhythm levels, new language options, and the ability to jog. Love it like a hit or meh.
Love it.
Love it.
Bring it on. I think I actually might buy it now.
Oh, you didn't buy it?
Too. No.
So I bought it for my girlfriend for, oh yeah, we talked about this, for Valentine's Day. And
Yeah, Shep called you an idiot.
yeah. Not the first time. But
Fucking stupid.
I'd love to know what that guy buys. Like, I know he doesn't buy Valentine's gifts, but if he did, what would he buy?
Ask the chat.
All right, chat. I feel we can get a hashtag going here. What would RGT, what should the hashtag be?
RGT love.
Okay, guys. We're going to use hashtag RGT loves. RGT love.
You can buy her a burrito.
Please tag me, Greg, Sean, but mostly Sean. And let us know what you think Sean would buy his significant other on Valentine's Day.
I think Sean's got a big heart.
Oh, I definitely know he has a big heart, but I don't know what he would buy. Like, if he thinks Ring Fit Adventure is stupid, what would he buy?
An actual ring?
Could you imagine that guy and like
No.
like with the
But-
ring and everything?
I've said that about a lot of people, and then like even myself.
I love these suggestions.
Lo and
Beef
behold.
jerky, raisins,
Xanax and
lube.
wine.
All of this makes sense. Not wine. I
Oh.
don't see him buying wine.
Oh, babe, you really know me. Zanny bars and wine. Some Carlo Rossi.
Oh, he won't die alone. He has Mitch. Yeah, Ring Fit Adventure. This is an amazing update. The fact that it's free, rhythm levels, bring it on. This is just a good package. Next up,
I've
we
heard
got...
that, like sales have been really good for it too.
Yeah, it's like always sold out and stuff. Next up, we have King's Bounty 2 coming out in 2020. Love it like a hater, man.
Hate it. What the fuck?
I really don't care.
It looks
Nothing about it caught my attention.
terrible. Yeah, about that.
Next, we got a Smash announcement, which was actually quite surprising. Confirmed ARMS character coming to Smash in June. Love it like a hater, man.
I hate it simply for the fact this should have been the character that they announced before they announced all the other the previous what was it,
Before
Nintendo
Fire
Direct,
Emblem?
before the Fire Emblem shitstorm that ensued after that. Hilarity ensues. Let me just tell you.
Make sure you do one of these after.
But seriously, like they should have been focusing on their first party products like that anyways, and something that a new IP that they only introduced at the start of the Switch. I mean, come on, man.
It's interesting to see them revisit this IP and being like, oh, we have this. It didn't do so well. Maybe we should like try again.
Hey, we're just here to remind you that ARMS isn't dead.
Play it for
We haven't
free,
forgot about it.
please. I like it. I think it's a great, like, it's going to be a unique character to play with, And that's what Smash to me is all about. It's all about, having new kind of characters. Shout out to Matt, $30 donation saying, get a Satisfy grip to play in handheld mode. Matt, I hear you. So now I got to get a grip and a Corona from the last week's show. I owe you those two things.
I actually have a Satisfy grip too.
Do you suggest it? What's the word from Bearded Greg?
Hell yeah, I do. And I have the Satisfy.
Wait, what?
Game holder, and I actually use it.
So you still play with the Joy-Cons. You're just getting
the
legs.
Your Switch and the grip all fit in the same case, and it all zips up. I take it like practically every flight.
Okay.
And then put in the grips.
Oh. Is that comfortable?
Yeah, hell yeah, it is. Look at my mitts.
I like that. All right, Matt. I'll get that grip, and I'll even throw in a review for you on this.
Hey, I know a guy.
Hook me up. Next up, we've got Bravely Default 2. Got quite a bit of info on this. Love it like it, and we got a demo as well. Love it like a hater, man.
I like it. I'm glad they're revisiting this too.
I like it too. I'll be honest. I was skipping through it during the directs. I'm like, oh, an RPG. But I went back and I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to try this. Like, it's pulling me in.
Do you remember? I think this is one of the titles that we were hoping would get like revisited.
Which one? Bravely
Default? We talked about it. I think like 6 or 7 episodes ago.
I thought we knew though Bravely Default 2 was coming. Didn't we?
Yeah, but I remember discussing it like a long time ago and then talking about the Nintendo Direct. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
It sounds familiar because I think we were talking, if I remember right, about turn-based RPGs, and I think we were maybe talking about Final Fantasy or Octopath, and I feel that would have brought up Bravely Default.
Yeah, and then we also talked about like the tease of the shape of the logo, and remember they did that on Twitter
with the Octopath thank you.
Yeah.
And it was like people were like, "Oh, there's a Bravely Default 2," but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was announced though before. But we just because I recall seeing these characters prior, but clearly I wasn't following very closely. RPG says it's Bravely Default is one of the craziest games I played. It really tests you. Again, it was a 3DS game, so. But on the Switch, I'll totally give it a try.
Your 3DS.
There's a free demos. I mean, right there. It's worth a try. Next, hold on your hat, Greg, because we didn't just get one game. Not 2 games. 51 games in one. Clubhouse Games 51. Love it like a hater, Matt. Coming out June 5th.
I love it.
Are you serious?
Jason,
Are you serious?
50 more games than I had anticipated, and I think I'll buy this right now. I think I'm going to.
You're going to pre-order it?
Or actually, no, it does come out June 5th.
June 5th. Maybe you can pre-order it and get like an exclusive board game skin.
Hopefully, I get a new an exclusive solitaire deck. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't care. What? Meh. So meh. Again, I'm not gonna hate it because I find the Switch is the perfect product to be having this collection, and I know this will probably sell very well. It'll probably sell better than ARMS, but I don't care.
Some of them have online multiplayer. If I could play,
you just muted yourself, sir.
Did I?
No, you're back. You just cut out, I guess.
Oh, I said if I could play chess online because some of them have online aspects to them. If I could play chess online, I'd be happy.
Imagine if you could play solitaire online by yourself.
Jason.
Hilarity ensues. Next up, we've got Ninjala. Love it like a hater. It comes out May 27th, 2 days before everything else.
Which one was this?
It reminded me of Splatoon, but with ninjas.
Dude, so we saw this at E3 like 2 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't there.
I think you were. I think that was the last year that I.
Oh man, I think you're right. I was there.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing this though.
I remember they had like this big setup. They weren't like with Nintendo, but they were near it. And I think Eli had sat in and was like, "Oh, this game's hella fun," and all this stuff. But I thought it was crazy to see that on here when I thought like they had already launched the game a couple years ago. So I don't know.
Nothing about it caught my attention really. Like it just really reminds me of Splatoon.
Everybody says it's ridiculously fun.
Yeah.
Everybody that I asked that had played it.
You're right. It was unveiled at E3 2018.
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
And it's like I want to say it's like a company based out of China, and it's like a small company. Online. Is it?
Yeah.
They probably got the publishing rights to it. I think it was somebody
developed
else.
and published by Gung Ho Online.
That's interesting.
Huh.
They're usually more hardcore style games.
Apparently, that was the trailer. Yeah, there was a teaser trailer at the 2018 E3. I don't remember this at all. And footage from the game was briefly featured during Nintendo's E3 2018 video presentation.
But it was playable on the floor, though, like a big section.
Oh. It's weird. I have not heard anything about this. But yeah, you're right. There was a demo at E3. Destructoid is in the Wikipedia page for reviewing it. It's a meh for me. I don't play multiplayer games very much.
Oh, Jason.
Sorry. Unless it's with you.
Wow.
Okay, we still got a few. We're going to try to get through the next stuff fast.
Okay.
It's not good anyways. Star Wars Jedi Academy. Shadow dropping. Love it like a hater, meh.
Meh.
Big meh. That's the game that should have stayed in the past.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of things like you can't play with your friends online. You have to play with randoms. So another big meh.
Okay.
Next, Star Wars Racer. Honestly, it was so short. I didn't even realize they announced it. Love it like a hater.
Meh, because they just did like a little teaser image. They didn't even actually show it. So fuck them.
Good point. Meh to the announcement. Like it to the fact that it's going to be playable. Hopefully.
Someday.
Panzer Dragoon Shadow Drop.
I'll love it for Sean.
Did he like it?
He bought like I think the collector's edition that was coming out on limited run games.
Have you tried it yet?
They were doing it. No.
Oh.
Maybe down the road. It's like a game I would play, not I would go out of my way to play.
I haven't heard much about it. So for those of you in chat who have played it, like is it good? Because the promotion around this was really weird, and for it to like shadow drop, I don't know, just strikes me as cheap. Trials of Mana comes out next month, April 24th. Love it like a hater, meh.
Just kind of a meh for me.
Same.
Really my thing.
Not picking this up. Then we got into the sizzle reels, so these were pretty quick. There's a game called Fuser coming out fall 2020, which is like a rhythm game. Meh.
Meh.
Elder Scrolls Blades coming out spring 2020. Meh.
Well, it was supposed to come out last year, I thought.
Yeah, they were making a pretty big deal about it last year.
Because I played it and interviewed the people behind it at E3 last year, and it seemed like it was shaping up to be like they were going to hit their deadline or that it was going to release soon, but I don't know whatever happened to it. I like it. It's just a nice little pick up and play mobile port of their for the Switch. So.
Yeah, meh. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanists coming out in May. Meh.
Hate it.
Don't care.
Don't care.
This was a first-person shooter coming out April 9th called Vigor.
Oh yeah. It looked really choppy in the gameplay that they showed.
It's a first-person shooter. I don't care.
Yeah.
Strong.
I like it. Glad to see more platforms come online with the Switch.
I'm going to guess the next one is a love it for you. Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Oh yeah, love it.
Meh.
Such a fun game. And they ported it to practically every system.
I was quite shocked to see EA bring a game out of nowhere to the Switch again.
Yeah. I wonder if they just decided if they, like one of those surveys that they do, if there's any popularity. Because you have to think of the age group, that's
picking up the
now
Switch.
growing older that is purchasing it, the primary consumer for it.
Gadget Mike has a good point. If Burnout is going to cost $50, big
I hope not.
probably not. How it's a
That'd be so stupid.
It is EA
like,
though, so
it should be like $14.99 or $19 at most.
$1.
$1 hair.
$1. Oh, RPG likes it. Next, we had Saints Row 4 Reelected coming out March 27th. Love it like a hater. Man.
Yeah, dude. Love it.
Don't care.
Play it. It's good.
These games. I have Saints Row 3 on my PC. I just don't care. Don't care. Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 coming out June 30th.
Man. Big old man.
I'm interested.
Get the hell out of here.
I want to see more about what this game's about. It looks pretty.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of turn-based action that looks boring as shit.
Looks pretty.
Oh, is that Sean?
No, you're not angry enough. You gotta yell. You gotta yell. You can't just.
Looks boring as shit.
And then you gotta call me an idiot too.
Get the fuck out of here, Jason.
Thank you. That's better. Now we got Classer's Crass going. Mr. Driller in Drill Land coming out June 25th. Love it like it, man.
I'm a meh because I don't think I think my buddy Cam said this the other day, and I was like, I only know about that because I had a Dreamcast. I remember seeing the character at some point. Like, yeah, I don't think I ever played any of the games or anything.
We lost Albert.
Hey, Albert, no sleeping.
Wake up. Yeah, it's a meh. Minecraft Dungeons, which I feel should have been out by now. Meh.
Yeah, I like it. Looks fun.
And then they closed off this entire presentation with a wonderful update to Pokemon Sword and Shield. And it's DLC. Love it like it or meh.
Big old meh for me.
Big meh. I have both Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I don't know what I was thinking. I do know what I was saying. I didn't buy it for me. That's what I was thinking.
But in general, that's what I was saying too. The whole presentation felt like it was bits and pieces taken from different presentations, and you could see that, like, for Vigor, some of the gameplay didn't look as polished, but I think it was because they made adjustments, and I don't think it's a waste of time. Not necessarily. If you're saying just Pokemon, Gadget Mike, or just the whole presentation,
I think it was saying Pokemon.
But I think it was just really all right. I mean, it's just think about, how many people are probably not at the office that are able to collaborate, to have conversations, to have meetings, to see how a product looks in certain lights, to put together a presentation. So, all things considered, I think it was very well presented for how things are going right now.
Yeah, and they did put that announcement in the beginning, talking about the virus and stuff. It definitely impacted them. And keep in mind, if this was supposed to come out not last week, but any week before that was when updates were happening very quickly in the world, and like shutdowns were happening all over. And I think all of that uncertainty, and this kind of goes back to the last episode where Sean fought with me saying it doesn't affect anything. I think it did. And to your point, do I think they left stuff out? Well, they definitely did, because they went out of their way to call this a mini, despite it being a pretty meaty direct. Like, in terms of content and length, I would not have called this a mini. But I think what we're going to see next is probably in May, we're going to see another Nintendo Direct with a lot of first-party announcements. Or maybe they're just going to wait till E3.
Well, just think about it. They might be trimming down. And when I say, if they made adjustments because of, I'm not necessarily saying because of, COVID-19, coronavirus, or whatever you want to call it. I'm saying because, like, look what happened to their E3 plans. And I'm sure that the bulk of what video content that they were going to utilize there, or weeks leading up to it, or whatever, was trimmed down and used for this presentation. Now they have to, everything that would usually be done with investors and buyers and stuff at the show floor, they're trying to, space out the announcements, to keep investor morale up, but also probably try and, sell to these people too. So
that's a good point too. The investor angle is if you look at this presentation from an investor angle, and they needed to announce something in March leading up to their financial review of the year and their investor call that's coming up soon. I know it's usually in early April, and a lot of the story that this direct tells me, let's say if I'd be an investor, is, hey, look, we are still working with a lot of big companies in the industry. Here we have EA, we have 2K coming in strong. All of our second and third parties are still actively bringing games to the Switch. The Switch is strong. Pokemon, which sold very well in November, has a longer tail because of new DLC coming out. So all this is positive, but people are going to be like, well, what about what's coming out in the late end of 2020? And that's usually saved for E3. Like, that's just part of the course. So
it's like that's a huge disconnect between investors and looking at the positivity that's happening in the industry, or looking at titles and the pacing over the course of the year, versus people are just like, I want a fucking game and I want to play it now. Oh, this fucking sucks. Pokemon's lame or whatever. And it's like,
yeah. But ultimately, like, the investors want to know what's happening. Are you guys going to push more systems? Are you going to see, and you're seeing them really playing, I think, strongly to some of their fall releases, specifically having Pokemon DLC, reinvigorating Ring Fit Adventure, showing that they're still actively supporting Smash. A lot of third-party representatives. The fact that they talked about Animal Crossing having events, they can play off their initial sales and say, look, this is going to have a long tail because we're going to keep reminding people that this game exists down the road. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, they can point to this direct and say, all those games we sold a lot for in the past are still actively being developed and new content coming out. And I think that's good news. Like, if I'd be an investor to this, as a fan, I'd be like, well, where's Zelda 2? Come on.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think? We're gonna have a very short lightning round. What did you guys think of the direct? What are your questions of anything we probably didn't discuss for the past week? So overall, Greg, this Nintendo Direct, love it, like it, hate it, or meh?
Like it.
I liked it too.
Yeah. Like I said, it was, I don't want to, because there's a lot of mess. There's some hate it's, and there's a couple love it's and a lot of like it. So I think it was just kind of, just where I always think about that, where are we currently at in this world, and announcements and whatnot.
To me, it was refreshing. We were talking about anxiety earlier and how there's so much negativity in the news and all that. To wake up that morning, I remember I was staring at my phone in bed, and boom, Nintendo Direct, just shadow dropped. Like, oh my God, I don't have to wait. It's announced and it's there, and I got so excited. I fixed myself breakfast and I'm got some coffee. I'm like, the next 30 minutes is just me watching a Nintendo Direct, and that excitement, even though the content itself wasn't that much for me, it was still just enjoyable. You got the little happy music, you're looking at new game releases. It just made me forget about the rest of the world for a while, and that was enjoyable. Out of all this, I'm probably just going to be picking up Xenoblade, honestly, out of all the stuff that was announced, and taking advantage of the Ring Fit Adventure update. And maybe
I'm going to get that. I'm going to force myself to do it.
I mean, you're a fitness guy. You got to try it. It's a fun little game.
I'm still out of shape, man.
Depends what shape you want to be. If you want to be like, I don't know, a pear, upside down pear. So we've got Matt says we should get Battle Clash remade to interface with Ring Fit. I'm not familiar with Battle Clash. Overall, nice direct, says Cat. C- from Mike, C+ from Greg. What are you doing?
Yeah, dude.
Putting your own grade in. A solid B from Matt. So you got pretty medium response. A solid B.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very much not for.
Well, I think that was the best way to, kind of curb expectations. Whereas, instead of saying,
direct happening,
this is the road to PS5, and
hi guys. Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually really good. They didn't hype it up.
Comparison.
They didn't hype it up, and they even said it's a mini. So everyone went into that with low expectations. At least I did.
Not like saying the whole day before, like, this is the road to PS5, check in tomorrow.
We're going to reveal and talk about the PlayStation 5 for a whole hour. Did you watch it?
I did.
You did?
I watched the whole thing.
What'd you
I
learn?
thought I was going to see nothing. You know? No, I do think what they're doing is, remarkable in the sense that they have a little Xbox has the Ferrari, but they've got a Camaro and it's still fast and hauls ass. So it's just it's weird how much tech speak they're using, how many flops, how many gigabytes per second, and how Xbox is controlling that conversation right now, and PlayStation is went for the dry approach, but now they have to also respond. I remember after Xbox did theirs and they did theirs, they had to go back and re-explain why what they're doing is important, and I don't know. It was just
PlayStation as a brand. I like PlayStation for their games. They make good games. There are a lot of good games on PlayStation 4 and previous consoles. But when it comes to PR and marketing, PlayStation is the worst out of the big three. Like Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. PlayStation does not know how to make their brand sexy or fun or interesting. It's everything, like their state of plays are boring and dry. Everything, their whole PR, they just suck at it. They really suck at it.
Which is crazy because they're winning the fight right now. They are.
Maybe that's why they don't need to try so hard. But like, imagine if Xbox had the same caliber of games that PlayStation or even Nintendo had.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could do so much, I feel, with it. But I don't know.
I just imagine like them up in their big lofty towers and
who PlayStation
the heads of PlayStation. They're just like, throw another game down to the peasants and let them fight over it.
And then hilarity will ensue.
Oh my god.
All right, we are at the end of the hour, so we're going to wrap it up there. But Greg,
there was an announcement that happened today. Near Replicant.
Oh yeah, that was out of nowhere on a Sunday.
On a Sunday at like 6 a.m.
So you were getting a remaster of the first Nier game, which cool. So random. Nier Replicant. Never played it. Couldn't get into the second game. Maybe I'll give this one a try. I don't know. But what else? What's your week looking like in terms of gaming and online, and what do you want to do with people? Do you want to play with people?
Yeah, honestly, I really do mean this. If anybody's ever looking for somebody to jump in on Rocket League, Modern Warfare, or even I'll play some Smash. I'll get back into Smash. Any of those platforms. I have every system. I have PlayStation, Xbox One, and PC, and Switch.
Do you want to do a Smash night this week?
I'd be down.
We should do a Clash vs. Grass Smash night. Sean probably won't participate, but we'll still call it Clash vs. Grass Smash night.
And the person with the most losses has to
eat raisins. 2 kilos.
Give away a $10 gift card to the chat. Oh, I said it. Now it's in stone.
The loser, you said?
Yeah,
like the loser of the hosts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
win hands down.
No.
I'm very confident in my Smash abilities against you against both of you.
I haven't played Smash in like.
Just don't. Okay, but you can't play Mega Man. You can't play Mega Man.
No. Can't do that.
Yeah, we're gonna do this, guys. Everyone in the chat's gonna be invited. It's not just gonna be Greg, myself, and maybe Sean, but we're gonna do a Smash night. It's gonna be streamed live on here. Maybe we'll do it on Twitch too.
Sick, dude.
It's probably gonna be tomorrow because I still don't have my next Castlevania game because I ordered it 3 weeks ago and they never shipped it. So it's either gonna be tomorrow or Wednesday. We're gonna have Smash night, Clash vs. Grass Smash night. And it'll be like 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. So get yourself some practice in, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Otherwise, so we've got the Smash night, and then there's going to be a Hollow Knight night this week, probably Tuesday. Oh, that game. I have 2% left. I'm getting very close to my platinum trophy, but god damn, is it getting hard. So I'll be playing that. Hey?
Hollow Knight Night?
Hollow Knight Night. And then there's going to be Hey Jay Eats, where I'm really scared of this. My next episode is sardines.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
I like sardines with a little ketchup and mustard, but only specific ones.
I don't like fish, so I don't know how this is going to go. But hey, entertainment for all of you. All right. Thank you all for joining. Until next time, we'll see you next week. Until then, keep it classy, or as Greg would say.
I'll go crassy this week.
Thank you.
Shout out for Sean. And don't forget my Resident Evil 3 review that goes. Oh, check it out. PCinvasion.com.
Please support Greg. He needs attention.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone, and see you at the Smash Night.